guys, welcome back to Nerdy Gains. I'm Jacqueline, and today I have a special treat for you. This is my very best friend, Zoey. We've been best friends since we were 16 years old.
Hi, guys.
So she's going to be joining me in this little segment of Jacqueline and Friends. So today we're going to focus on what we like to eat. Zoey and I are both quite healthy individuals, so my diet's a little bit different than hers because the one thing that she has that I don't have is celiac disease. So Zoey, tell me about celiac disease and what does it do to your life?
Well, celiac disease, in short, is an intolerance to gluten. It means you're unable to digest gluten properly. So it can cause a whole bunch of different issues. It can cause inflammation. It can cause, obviously stomach aches and sometimes the runs. And, for me, it actually not only causes physical symptoms, but it also screws with my cognitive processing, which means when I eat gluten products, it's harder for me to think straight. So, people with celiac disease react differently sometimes. I'm just sharing my own personal experience with it, but it's, gluten is in everything. It's in wheat, oats, barley, and those products that's donuts, that's pizza, that's bread, that's biscuits, what else? Cookies, anything and everything that's your favorite food, I'm probably allergic to.
So Zoey, tell me how you get around celiac disease. What foods do you like to eat so you can still maintain a healthy weight and also still get the nutrients you need?
Totally. For me, typically I do try to stick to healthier, I guess, style things. I don't eat a lot of carbs. There are carbs I can eat. There are gluten-free grains like Milton flax and gluten-free oats, definitely. Almond flour is wonderful. But for me, my diet typically consists of fruits, nuts, and meat. The great thing I love about those three things, and vegetables, don't forget that one. The thing I love about those things is they're easy to come by. And they're filling to the point where, carbs of any kind, whether it be potato chips or anything like that, just kind of sates your appetite, but it doesn't fill you up. And having a lot of protein and things with natural sugars are much, much more filling and feed your body the nutrients that it really needs.
Thank you, Zoey, for that. And Zoey is actually 100% correct when it comes to what fills you a lot more. Protein actually takes about 4 to 8 hours to digest completely, so the protein is going to fill you significantly more. So if you are more of a high protein diet and a low carb diet, that will help you definitely with muscle building. It will help repair damaged muscle tissue if you're weightlifting, running long endurance. So you do need that protein intake 4 to 8 hours after your peak exercise so that the protein can come in and fix whatever micro tears you have in your muscles. If you are some sort of runner, definitely a carb diet will help you too. You want to stick to more complex carbs because that will help you maintain blood sugar levels. You need that muscle glycogen to help with the next set of exercises that will come the next day. So other things that I like to eat that's slightly different than Zoey, I will eat different levels of carbs. I also eat possibly more so like whole grain pasta because I'm not allergic to it like Zoey is. I also would eat brown rice. I would eat sometimes white rice depending on whatever I'm feeling. I'm not perfect, neither is Zoey. We still are Chicago girls at heart. We like our hamburgers. We like our Italian beef. We like hot dogs. We like all that good stuff. But we still try to keep it healthy throughout the week because you feel better when you eat healthier.
Totally. Don't forget pizza.
Oh, yeah.
Pizza's so good.
We're from Chicago, so we really like our deep dish. So if you guys ever want to come visit us, get us a deep dish and you're going to automatically become friends with us. Although Zoey might be a little allergic, but we can find restaurants that do gluten-free deep dish.
I think Jacqueline brings up a lot of really great points. complex carbs are much better for you. And, you know, eating whole grain pastas is definitely gonna give your body more of the nutrients that it needs than if you're eating like the typical standard pasta. You know, another option for pasta actually is, and I don't know if you know this, but they have what's called lentil pasta.
Oh, really? Tell me about that.
It's made from lentils, and it's really good, and it tastes just like regular pasta, but it's not made from grain. And typically the kind that I like is red lentil pasta. The green one tastes kind of funky to me. I don't know if it's just the color or something, but you know, it's, you know, definitely not my favorite. But there are so many different options. You can have those carbs and do it healthier. I think Jacqueline also brought up another thing is you can't do this perfect. Nobody can. You know, even us, like, we really try to focus on being and eating healthy on a regular basis. But there are going to be nights where we completely just, you know, like we kind of like, whatever, let's eat a bunch of crap. So I think it's important as you're developing a healthier eating style to give yourself a break. If you slip up, then, you know, brush yourself off and get up and try again. Just keep at it. So yeah.
So we're going to go through quickly what I usually eat on a typical day and then what Zoey eats on a typical day. So, for example, what I do for breakfast is I'll do maybe like an egg white, whole grain toast, and either I'll put a little peanut butter on it or just a teeny bit of butter just to kind of give it a little flavor. I also would probably do some sort of fruit, so berries or apples, just to kind of give a filling breakfast. For lunch, I typically like to meal prep, so I'll do chicken breasts, some sort of brown rice or quinoa, and then I'll do vegetables. I either use fresh vegetables or frozen vegetables depending on whatever I buy during the week, and I'll have that set and typically eat that throughout the week when I'm at school or I'm at work. And for dinner, I typically would do some other protein, so another chicken, maybe like a lean meat, so another lean meat like steak, or a lean ground beef. I also do some sort of other carbs, so maybe like a whole grain pasta or another sort of brown rice or quinoa and some sort of vegetable, just to kind of keep it pretty accurate. I like snacks such as almonds. I'll do maybe like turkey jerky, some apple slices. I like Kind bars a lot too, just to kind of fill me throughout the day when I start getting hungry. And before I go to the gym, I'll either eat like a quick little granola bar, or I'll have like those little kid yogurts that you twist off the top and just kind of drink it like a little sippy cup, or like Capri Sun, just so I have a little bit of food and before I eat, a little bit of sugar. Or I'll take like a pre-workout supplement such as amino acid, where it's a little bit less in caffeine intake, but I feel like it doesn't give me the jitters. And after workouts, I usually eat something like a whole grain carb. Sometimes I'll munch on some Cheerios just to get that muscle glycogen restores back up. And then I'll take a protein shake. I don't do the whey protein shakes anymore, unfortunately, since they kind of help make my face break out. But before, I used to use Optimum Nutrition. I recommend that brand. Great flavors. It blends very nice, but sadly, my face suffered from it. So instead, I started using Vega, which is a vegan brand where it uses plant protein, so I get not only fiber, I also get protein on top of that, so that's pretty cool. So Zoey, tell me what you eat on a typical day.
So for me, typically on a typical day, I kind of like I said before, I eat a lot of nuts. For breakfast, if I'm gonna have breakfast, and most of the time I don't, because I like to save my calories for a later meal. Typically I'll have like a handful of nuts, and for me, I really do try to stick to lighter calorie foods, because it just kind of, for me at least personally, it kind of helps me, it helps augment when I go do my cardio at the gym. For the afternoon, typically I'll eat an apple. A great type of apple that I would totally recommend is pink lady apples. If you get a medium one, it's like, I think like 65 calories. They're great thing about fruits is they're low in caloric intake, but they fill you up. And something that I've learned is it's super important to keep your body fed. So waiting long periods of time before, between eating is not necessarily healthy. So even if you're having a bag of pistachios or, an apple, a banana, every 2 to 3 hours is the optimal time to make sure you're feeding your body. Because your body needs time to, excuse me, it needs nutrients to focus. It needs all these things. So if you're not eating, it, kind of keeps it from functioning correctly. For dinner, typically I'll eat some kind of chicken. I really like chicken because it's, low caloric intake and tastes great. And you can do so many different things with it. Like you can make stir fry, you can, make, like if you want to put some soy sauce on it and grill it. Even if you want to get some like cornstarch and kind of bread it a little bit, like that's phenomenal. And then I'll have some kind of vegetable like broccoli or green beans. And then, sometimes I'll have like small little potatoes or something. And then before I go to bed, I try not to eat anything, but, I usually end up having some nuts. And kind of back to what we were talking before about, sometimes slipping up a little bit, at night, it's the hardest time for me to eat healthy, especially at like 11. That's when the chocolate cravings come in, and
oh yeah, girl,
like it's tough. But like night, sometimes I have a couple chocolate almonds, and but it's better than eating crappy all day and then having crap at night. So, and I think everything needs to be done in moderation. And I think the moderation needs to be unique to you. My moderation won't necessarily be what works for you. So it's a lot about finding out what works personally for you and keeps your body at the optimal nutrients intake and condition.
Zoey brings up a very fascinating point. So this is just typically what we like to eat. You don't have to follow what we do. The beauty about nutrition is it literally is so diverse. You can do anything with it. So this is kind of like a day-to-day video of what we like to eat, how we like food and what we like to do to prepare it, and just kind of like an idea of what we usually do. So again, you don't have to follow it. If you ever have any questions about nutrition, I would highly recommend to go to a nutritionist. I am not certified quite yet, but the best thing to do, especially if you are thinking about setting a diet, is to contact a nutritionist and to talk to him or her about how to eat healthily. There's multiple things out there, such as bodybuilding.com, to give you a meal plan guide. And there also is other websites to help you with fitness and also with nutrition. So thank you so much, Zoey, for joining me. You can follow her on her Perspective account.
My YouTube channel is Zoey Alexandria. Yeah, definitely be sure to subscribe. And hopefully I'll see you guys over there.
Thank you so much, guys, for tuning in. I look forward to seeing you guys soon. Bye!